we will bring out this window on the right and we'll click take off. And now what will happen if we go to the 3D, because we were ready to take off already with the spotting, they're all going to start up their engines and they're going to get going. It's going to be nice and loud as they all start up. Really cool watching all the propellers come on. These boys have been sat ready for like an hour in their cockpits. I hope none of them needed a pee. Hello guys, and welcome to Task Force Admiral. I'm happy to announce that the game is out now, available in early access. For those of you who haven't seen this game before, it's a real-time war game set in the Pacific in 1942. You take command of a carrier group and designate operations for your sailors and airmen. It's really good fun, and today we're going to be jumping into a single scenario to show off how the game works. We're going to be playing this mission of Cranes and Patriots, which happened in May 8th, 1942. It is a historical mission, so this actually happened in real life, and we're kind of doing it our own way. And as you can see down here, as Yorktown and Lexington recover from a day of hectic action, intel shows signs that the enemy carrier force is drawing near for a final showdown. In the last chapter of what will be known in history as the Battle of the Coral Sea, giants are going to face off for the first time ever in this game of chicken, assume command as Radham Fletcher, as Task Force 17 is about to make history and give its best to halt the southward ambitions of the Japanese combined fleet. So this is the first carrier-on-carrier combat that happened in the Pacific. Let's go ahead and listen to the briefing.
It's early morning on May 8th, 1942. Task Force 17, under the command of Vice Admiral Fletcher, has been roaming the Coral Sea for 7 days in an attempt to prevent a Japanese invasion of Port Moresby. The carriers USS Yorktown and USS Lexington were quite active and successful the day before. The American air groups managed to sink a light Japanese carrier with minimal losses, forcing the invasion force to loiter in fear of facing overwhelming odds on its way around the New Guinean Peninsula. In the meantime, the American carriers were left untouched. Japanese search efforts were rendered fruitless due to a number of mistakes and communication hurdles. Despite being spotted, Task Force 17 managed to escape the attention of enemy air power, as bombers from Rabaul focused fruitlessly on the Anzac Surface Combat Squadron, led by Admiral Crace, standing guard on the road to Port Moresby. As for the main Japanese carrier force, they attacked in droves the oiler USS Neosho and her escort USS Sims, mistakenly identifying them as a carrier force. Realizing their blunder, the Japanese aircraft launched a late afternoon search and destroy attack against the American carriers. Lost in bad weather, they were intercepted by American fighter cover and suffered crippling losses. Plus, to add insult to injury, they came across their target in the darkness on their way home and even tried to land, mistaking the American carriers for their own. But the Americans know that it was far too much luck for one day. Admirals Tagagi and Hara are going to be doing everything they can to wash away the humiliation suffered the previous day and show the combined fleet that Carrier Division 5 crews are not to be trifled with. Now, Admiral Fletcher has elected not to send a surface fleet ahead so as not to weaken his protection screen and leave these ships vulnerable at daybreak, a move he will be heavily criticized for in the coming weeks. It's now up to you to decide what to do next. The position of the enemy carriers is estimated to be within combat range northeast of Task Force 17's current position, but no one can predict with any accuracy the moves of the enemy. Enemy opposition is deemed challenging. The Japanese air group's been badly hurt by their ill-advised evening attack hours ago, but they are still going to be packing a punch. Expect to be going toe-to-toe with about 60 to 70 enemy Zero fighters, dive bombers, and torpedo bomber crewed by professionals, some of them veterans of many campaigns. As for the Americans, your own air groups are in good shape but are still suffering from a low number of available fighters, which will force you to make some tough calls. Should you escort your bombers as a priority or protect your carriers? It's your job to figure out how to best prepare for the first real carrier-to-carrier engagement of the war. Your objective is to seek out the enemy carrier force, engage it, and inflict heavy damage to force the Japanese Navy to abandon its move against Port Moresby. You're retired to the south at the end of your operation. Good luck.
Alrighty, so I hope you took that all in. The briefing there is certainly quite substantial. You can even look at the full briefing, which is a lot to read. If you want to go through all of that, you can feel free to pause at any moment and have a look, but it does tell you your surface assets. So we've got 2 carriers, 4 destroyers. Task group 17.2 is 5 cruisers and 3 destroyers. Our air assets, we've got 14 F4Fs on the Yorktown, 17 SBDs, the VB5 SBDs, so these are the dive bombers, and then we've got the torpedo bombers. And then we've got more F4Fs on the Lexington, more bombers and torpedo bombers. So a total of 31 fighters, 65 dive bombers, and 21 torpedo bombers. And we get a little bit of an assessment about the enemy forces. So they have a carrier task force centered around the modern carriers Shokaku and Tsukaku. So those are the ones we're going to be looking for and trying to destroy today. Let's go ahead and begin. This game is a little bit overwhelming to the eyes initially, I will say, but I'll try my best to describe what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and hopefully if you plan to pick up the game, it will give you a little bit of an idea of how to get started. So here we are in the sort of main room. You can click on these different things to move to different areas of the map. So we've got fleet management, we've got the map here. It's currently midnight, as you can see. Air operations will start about 6 AM. So that's kind of the time we'll be waiting, and we've got time to prep in the meantime. So if we go to the strategic map, this is where you spend a lot of your time. We can see that we've got the enemy carriers estimated position, so we're going to want to send off a search in that direction shortly. But we're going to go ahead and tick these 3 on. These are really important. So show contact history, show wind, and show weather. Weather's useful because cloud cover determines how high or low you want your fighters when you're searching for stuff, or your bombers, whatever. Wind is important to know because you need to be facing into the wind when you're performing air operations, so that it helps, the lift of the aircraft. And then, weather is the cloud cover, so how high or low you want to be, basically. So you want all of those on. It's really useful. It doesn't really take up too much of the eyes, unless there's a lot of cloud cover, in which case sometimes you might want to turn off cloud cover because you won't be able to see the map underneath. But for the most part, it's good to have them on. Alright, so we do have this strategic map view, and this is our task force here with all of these ships that you can see on the left side. This is the order of battle. We don't have any aircraft up yet, but if we did, we'd see them in the air list of the order of battle. We have a 3D view. We won't be able to see much right now. It's going to be very dark. If I go ahead and click on the Yorktown here, we can kind of see the moonlight bouncing off the deck there, but I'll come back to that once it's bright again. As that will allow us to see what's happening. Then we have our fleet formation. Now this is important. Well, not necessarily the fleet formation. The fleet formations by default are usually pretty good. I haven't really messed around with it too much. The main thing that you do here is fighter direction. This button is very important, the scramble fighters. So if you see an enemy force coming towards you, you want to scramble your fighters, and you can just click this button to scramble all fighters from all carriers. And then there's the defensive air ops, which creates a combat air patrol zone. So you need to set up your cap. So we can do that once we... I guess I can do that almost immediately, actually, because we know the general direction of where they're going to be. So we will place a sort of combat air patrol in their relative direction. So let's go ahead and set that up. So we'll zoom out to 100,000 yards on the scale, and we'll do create new combat air patrol, and we're just going to move it, say, over here. So I'll have a little bit of a screen in this direction. Let's just do it something like this. It's roughly okay. So we want to make sure that we're using one or the other. So Yorktown will do for now. We want F4Fs and patrol strength. I'm probably going to increase the patrol strength here and have 2 squads of 4. We could also do 2 squads. Yeah, 2 squads of 4 is probably fine. And we want them at patrol altitude 15,000 feet, which is as high as they can go. Because the weather is pretty clear, they're going to have good line of sight and able to spot enemy aircraft quite easily. And the higher they are, the better for intercepting enemy bombers and so on. So that's absolutely fine. The time between rotations is 2 hours, 46 minutes and 35 seconds. So we can just go ahead and accept. And we can also create different ones. So if we wanted another one that protected our south, we could go ahead and place a combat air patrol down here as well. But we're not going to do that for now. We just want one that's in the general direction of the enemy fleet. Alright, that's basically all we're going to do here. We do have some fleet information if we want to look at all the different ships and see how damaged they are and so on and so forth. You can see like their navigation, their speed and so on. It's general information. That's pretty useful. And you can also look at these in the 3D view. I'll go through them all when we are at daylight. But for now, we'll head back to the strategic map because we need to set up a search so that we can find the enemy carriers and actually engage them. So first things first, we will click search down here. And I used the Yorktown for the cap, so we're going to use the Lexington for the search. I'm going to click create new search. I can change this to the Lexington, and we will go ahead and change it to the torpedo bombers. Torpedo bombers are a lot less reliable than dive bombers for getting hits, so I prefer to use the torpedo bombers as scouts. That's what I've found anyway. Priority target is a carrier task force, but we don't want shadowing, so it doesn't really matter, to be honest. But that basically tells them what to look for. And if we want them to, we can have them shadow the priority target, so they'll try and relay radio information about the current position of the fleet as it continues to move. You can see here, this is where the angle of the fleet is, or the angle of the search is. The reason that it's all the way down here is because our fleet is currently traveling south, so we probably don't want to go that far down. Like, I can change the waypoint to sort of northwest, and then we'll kind of head in that direction. We'll be into the wind, we'll be ready for takeoff as soon as it gets to daylight, so that's probably what we'll do. And then we can search in the general direction over here. I'm just trying to... I could slow us down, we could slow down to like 5 knots or something like that. We'll speed up when we start takeoff. But that means that we can kind of predict a bit better where we're going to be. So the fleet's going to start to turn. You'll see the arrow start to swing round here, and we'll make sure that we are going into the wind. That's kind of important. Okay, so yeah, we're going to basically pre-prep for the next few hours, and we will just speed it up like it, and we don't have to wait 6 hours real time in order to attack here. That would be kind of ridiculous. Oh, look at that. And back in 3D view, we can actually kind of see that little destroyer or frigate. Cool. Right. So anyway, back to the search. So there's always something to do in this game, whether it's watching the pretty graphics or actually setting up your engagements. But ideally, we just want to be searching in this direction. So we'll do like... we want to increase the step, sorry, that's the wrong, I was clicking the wrong thing. So I'm going to increase the step. We're going to sort of search in this direction roughly, and we will increase the patrol strength to 8. But the reason you want 8 and on 90 step is because of the distance between. So you want to make sure that you're not too far apart. Say if we had only a patrol strength of 4, there'd be gaps in our search. So we want to make sure that we have enough that we can find everything. But we're going to be using the torpedo bombers. They don't have as much range, but they are presumed to be within combat range of us already, so it doesn't really matter what the range is on these aircraft at the moment. If we were having an engagement that maybe lasted a bit longer, then we may want to have aircraft that could fly further so that we have more information sooner and we can adjust our fleet heading accordingly. So that is absolutely fine. Patrol altitude again 15 kilometers, just because it's best for spotting at a distance, and also there's not much cloud cover. Search radius is as far as they can go, basically. We don't even need it to be that far, just so that they do actually come back in good time, and maybe we can create a torpedo wing. So that is fine, and we want the Lexington to be doing this. So let's do that. Wonderful. All right, perfect. That should do the trick. Let's go ahead and accept that, and we will move over to creating a strike plan. So what's going to happen as soon as it becomes bright enough to launch aircraft, we will have one carrier launching CAP, or Combat Air Patrol, and we'll have another aircraft carrier launching a search mission. So each of them will be busy. And then what we're going to do with both of them is set up a strike mission. So since we know that we basically want to be ready as soon as the light is there, we can set up a strike for the best possible date, which is currently 6:28. So that's when we're allowed to take off. So we'll start with the Lexington. That's absolutely fine. We're going to send like a minimal escort, maybe like 4 aircraft. We're going to send all of these dive bombers, and we'll send those torpedoes in as well. So that's absolutely fine. We will not pick a target just yet because we don't have a target to click on, but usually you'd click this and then you'd click on the map where the carrier is. Desired takeoff is as soon as possible. We'll do early spotting, because that way, what spotting means is putting the aircraft on deck. So we want to be putting the aircraft on deck while it is dark, so that we're basically ready as soon as it's light enough to take off in this situation. Sometimes you won't want to early spot because you don't want to have aircraft on deck if you come under attack. Otherwise you're going to lose a lot of aircraft very quickly. There's sort of threat of secondary explosions and so on and so forth. So early spotting is good if you're in this situation where it's night and you're preparing for daybreak. But in a situation where it's already day, this may not be the best idea. For departure mode, we'll do deferred departure. Normal departure would throw the aircraft one by one towards the target. So as soon as they take off, they'll start flying towards the target. Deferred departure makes sure that they kind of group up into a big group of aircraft and move all together, which is way more important for overwhelming enemy air defense. And then we're going to be using offensive power, which basically changes the loadout. So you can see here with offensive power selected, we get extra 100-pound bombs. Without it, we don't. Endurance basically just allows you to fly a little further because you're not as heavy. That's pretty much it. And then once we're done with that, we click green light. And now what will happen if we look at the timeline on the bottom here, I'm just setting it to 24 hours. You can see that the search mission is going to occur. And then after that, we're going to have a mission that will start to spot on deck. So they'll send off the search and then we'll be spotting the strike package immediately afterwards, which is kind of important. Being fast and like attacking with a lot of force all at once is really, really important. So let's go ahead and close that, and then we'll go over to the Yorktown here and we'll do another strike, and this one will set up a Yorktown strike. So we can just click here if we click the strike button and want to switch, but we'll do it this way. So we only have 6 F4Fs here, so I'm actually only going to send a couple of F4Fs with this one. So we'll have a total of like 6 fighters to escort our bombers, which is not a lot, but it should be enough to not allow the Zeros to freely shoot the bombers. The Zeros will actually have to kind of evade the fighter cover and deal with the fighters before they can deal with the bombers, which will give us a little bit extra time, so it's kind of important. Anyway, big strike package here, 17 plus the 15 dive bombers there, and then the 9 torpedo bombers. Again, we're not going to pick a target, we'll go early spotting, deferred departure, offensive power of course, and bam, green light. Alright, so now what's going to happen is we'll basically just speed up the game until 6 o'clock, and then we'll start to see some stuff happening. on the carrier. We'll get to see the pretty graphics in play. We do have the fleet defense here. So you can move around the different ships here. If you want to engage in ship versus ship warfare, you can technically do that. It's just you're not going to have a great time if you kind of let your ships get separated, because creating like a flag wall for your AA or for your carriers is kind of important. Okay, we also have the spotting or flight deck thing. This is the air plot. One thing that is good, and what I'll probably do, is after we have taken off with the strike package, I will put all fighters on the flight deck so that we're ready for any counterattacks. That's going to be pretty important. You might, again, you don't always want to do this because you don't want to get caught with your pants down and have aircraft on top if you're under attack. So that is important, but that will allow me to scramble a lot faster if things go wrong. So best to be prepared. You can have a look at the deck timeline, and that will show you like when they're going to spot and so on. So in this case, this is the Yorktown. They're going to spot the cap first and launch the cap as soon as they can, and then they'll start spotting the strike package here. So for the Lexington, we've got the search going out, and then the strike package will start to get spotted afterwards. And that will all start occurring at like 6:03, and you can see it ends at 6:25. So actually no, it starts at 6:18, ends at 6:25. That's the spotting of just that search package. So that's like 8 aircraft coming on deck, whereas this one you can see the spotting will take a bit longer, quite a lot longer, because there's way more aircraft, of course. But those the top of the carriers will be absolutely rammed with aircraft. Okay, yeah, we've got our squadrons here, which we can mess around with a little bit if we wanted to, but I haven't really played around with that many much. And there is the binoculars, so we can, you know, go ahead and click in here in order to do something. I can't remember how to do it, to be honest. I never really spend much time in here because it's always in the 3D view. In the 3D view, if you right-click or hold right-click, you can move the camera around. You can also press like O on the numpad to have free cam. There's also like different views. So if the numpad just allows you to have a look at different views. It's particularly nice if you're watching an aircraft. If you're on the ship, I mean, this is just going to make you seasick. That's horrible. All right, okay. So with all that done, I guess we can just kind of fast forward and watch the sunrise. Let's go ahead and do that. So we'll just whack it up to like, I mean, I can go like 60 speed or something silly, and we can just zoom into the distance. I don't really want to go too far here. I did slow down the carrier group so that we're not moving too far from our current position. We can see roughly where we're going to be. So if I drag the waypoint around, you can see the ETA. So we'll probably be around this position when we launch, which is fine. That should be okay. You can see the cloud cover starting to form. The weather does consistently get updated as we fast forward. You'll see the clouds start to kind of shift across slowly but surely. Watching the clouds in this game is actually kind of therapeutic, but we'll just again keep it sped up. We can go up to like 240 times speed. It does slow down if your computer can't handle it, so you might find if you've got a slower PC you might not be able to speed up the game as much, but it's just a limitation of the engine, I imagine. So we're currently zooming through the speed, and while we're waiting, I guess we can just look at our defensive ops. I could set up another cap zone, but that's probably not worth doing. We can also launch, in some cases, like for example here, the Minneapolis sometimes has float planes, and you can actually launch float planes off these boats. That's pretty cool and fun to do. We're not going to be doing it in this mission, but in other missions there are certainly ways to do that. There are actually a lot of big bombers and stuff in other missions as well, where you have like land-based air bases, so like on islands, and they're sending out big fleets of bombers. That's really cool. Let's go into 3D. It might start getting bright at some point. Let's just make sure that I'm clicking this, and we can have a look at the Yorktown here. You'll see the clouds moving above. It looks really nice. So we're currently moving into 420, and at some point we should start seeing the sun. It'll take a little while to... Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Here comes the sun. Watch the sunrise. It's like watching like an actual sped up bit of footage with all the way the clouds move through the air and the way that the light moves. It's so nice. It's so pretty. You can see our escort there behind. Closing in on 6 o'clock. And you'll start to see the aircraft move about on deck. Okay, there you go. They already spotted like most of them. So they started to move around as the sun has broken on the horizon. And we can have a look at them moving those. So they're just kind of moving them to the back. They're currently spotting the search party. The search will take off, and then they start spotting the strike package afterwards. The Lexington will also be starting to move its aircraft around the place so that it can take off with a few fighters, so that we can get our combat air patrol working quickly as possible. Okay, so let's just keep it sped up whilst that carries on, and you'll see them move the rest of those aircraft into position. And as soon as they're ready, they will take off. They're starting their engines. Just like shift the camera around now and watch them take off. I know it's a bit dark, I apologise about that. But as soon as we hit time for takeoff, we'll be ready to go. And since we're heading into the wind, they will be able to take off at like a very short distance. That is why you want to move into the wind. It helps aircraft take off quicker and land quicker, because you have the speed of the ship sort of giving you a bit of an extra boost as you move into the air. So the Lexington is getting ready, still moving aircraft around. You can see it kind of on the backside there, or the reflection on the wings. Yeah, Cap is ready to go. Cap is kind of important to scout. They will take down enemy scouts for you and also spot incoming attack groups. That's why Cap is so important, having fighters ready and in the air. And then as soon as you know that there is a strike package on the way towards you, you can scramble all your fighters and you're good to go. Alright, there goes the first one off the deck. Lovely. And the second one will swiftly follow. It won't take long to take off. If I view it from this side, we'll have the sun behind us so we can actually see what's going on. I can press tab to remove the HUD, and then we get to see the game in all its beauty. I do like the way that the closing the HUD is just on tab. It's so accessible. It just means that you can admire the graphics of the game very, very easily. I really enjoy watching carrier ops. There's something so cool about it. Just like launching off aircraft from a ship like this, like pretty nuts when you think about it. Anyway, last F4F in the sky. That's the Wildcats off and about. And what they're going to do is probably form up and then head to their cap zone. The Lexington will be launching its search party shortly, and then they'll start spotting strike package. And as soon as we have eyes on where the enemy carrier is, or carriers I should say, we'll launch everything, and we'll go and get them. So it doesn't really matter that our strike was set for 6:28, because they won't actually take off until they have a target. And you click take off. So you don't have to worry about like setting a time, and then what can happen is they would just like launch automatically. It doesn't work like that. You actually have to tell them to launch when you want, so that they don't just accidentally launch. Anyway, let's head back to the Lexington, and actually not the Lexington, the Yorktown. It is the Lexington, sorry. That will be starting to take off the big boys. I think these are Dauntless. Or Devastators. Actually, they might be the Devastators. The Dauntless, I think, are the dive bombers? I don't know, I'm not familiar with the names of the American fighters too much, but hopefully I got that somewhat correct. And there they go, off on their search party. And what we can do is now click on air in the order of battle, and we can watch these. So we can click on those, and that's going to bring us up to our cap. And you'll notice that there's his wingman, and a couple of them should be joining him shortly. This will be the first one in the air. Now you can in fact take control of these aircraft by right-clicking and clicking take control. It's kind of interesting how it works. You kind of just use your mouse to kind of target. You have like A and D are currently like yaw rather than roll, which is I think is a bit weird, but I'm kind of used to war thunder controls. It's kind of very difficult to fly with a mouse and keyboard, I won't lie, but it is fun, and you can mess around with it. If you want to come out of this, you click release control, and the aircraft will just go back to what it's doing. The aircrafts, it's really funny. The way that I think about this is like the dude in the cockpit just got mind controlled for a bit, and then he wakes up, he's like, oh, I should probably get back to what I was doing. Anyway, the torpedo bombers are off and about. So these are our search, and they're going to have a look around for the enemy ships. And the nice thing about these aircraft is they're pretty tanky. So they're actually pretty decent at searching, just because usually what's going to happen is you'll bump into enemy cap, and 1 or 2 zeros will probably end up attacking them. But sometimes they can get away because they're quite tanky, and the rear gunner can fend them off a little bit. Look how gorgeous that is though. The sun rising in the distance. The aircraft moving up into the sky. It's heading up to 15,000 feet in order to scout for the enemy. You can see the fleet below there moving forwards. Very, very cool indeed. Such a pretty game. It really, really is. I will certainly say that much. Okay, so yeah, all of these torpedo bombers will be taking off. That one just took off, and that's the last one out and about. So now what's going to happen is the next attack will be spotted on deck and ready to go. So as soon as we need them, they will be good. And then after they take off, if I remember, I'll probably move all of the fighters to the deck so that we are ready to receive any attacks as well. So now we just got to kind of wait for our search aircraft to find the enemy carrier. So if I go and click search, we'll see the current search in that's happening. So these are the lines that these are going to follow. And the reason that we're kind of searching more to the left here is because this is a range, or this barrier here is the estimated bomber range of Rebel airbase. So we don't want to go inside of that line, but they might use that for safety. So we know that they might be here, but They kind of want to travel in this direction to the left if they're going to attack the base over here. So we can kind of estimate they're going to move in this direction. So we're going to look for them. You can see the cap on the map there as well. So my Wildcats will be moving around. We can see the radar range here. So the radar range, if you have that on, basically tells you like, well, you can basically see your own aircraft. If they move out of range of the radar, then they'll disappear off radar, but you'll still get sort of intermittent radio comms about whatever's happening nearby those units. You can still watch them in 3D view as well, so even if you can't see them on this tactical map or strategic map, you can still click 3D, go to the order of battle and click on any unit, so that's pretty cool. You can also, I think, set it up so you can click on enemy aircraft as well and watch those. Also, one to watch out for on the mission I was talking about, where you have like the B-52 bombers helping you out. You can click bases, and there will be some stuff there that you can look at, which is really cool. Alright, so what we want to do now is speed that up. Now, the game's not going to run as fast because we have aircraft in the sky. There's going to be a lot more going on, so we'll just go ahead and let them spread out. You can see how they're spreading out now. We're going to continue heading into the wind, so we'll turn around there, right into the wind. And as they go outside of radar contact, you'll see them sort of disappear. So TF-17 has been detected by enemy air search asset, according to a message we intercepted. So they know where we are. So we should probably get a move on. Let me go ahead and speed us up, because we don't want to be hanging about in the position that they saw us. Otherwise, the air strike package might, do a lot of damage. And what I am going to do is we can go ahead and look at the search, and we can look down from these aircraft and kind of try and spot ourselves roughly where stuff is if we wanted to. Look how gorgeous that is though. For real. I can zoom all the way in. I mean, that in itself is just a screenshot, right? Absolutely gorgeous. Alright, so you can see here that our strike package is on deck, and it's a lot of aircraft. It's a lot of aircraft. It's just as well that the weather's not so bad, because you probably wouldn't want that many on deck if it was. But alas, we're going to just continue heading into the wind, and as soon as we're ready to take off, we will. I could, in theory, send the strike package towards this area. You can set a waypoint by clicking on the map with the strike package. So if you have this, you pick target and you left click on the map. You can do that, but you kind of don't know exactly where they're going to be, and you don't want your strike package to mess. Like the guy was talking about in the briefing, like that. That's not good at all, because not only does it leave you like very exposed because you don't have any of your aircraft around, but also you don't have the ability to attack the enemy enemy carrier at all. So yeah, it's really, really bad. But we're hoping that my search finds something. Kind of keeping an eye on the messages up here. I might have to send another search in this direction. Okay, yeah, we have found them. Okay. That's most likely going to be them. Alright, so what we're going to do is make sure we're facing the wind, and we're going to get our boys out. So, Surface Combat Task Force. It's at least one destroyer, one small ship, 4 large. We want to ideally know if there's a carrier there. There is a carrier. Okay, it's been confirmed. Right, let's go. We will go to our strike down here. We will pick a target. Wabam. It is slightly out of range. What we can do to make them take off anyway, and ignore that, is kind of set a custom range. Is that being weird? Oh, it's because I haven't actually got anything selected, sorry. We want to make sure that we're selecting the strike package that we already have, so if we go to the timeline here, would be a better way of doing it. Okay. So now we pick a target. Wabam. And we can shorten the distance a little bit. We're a little bit far away, unfortunately. But what I'll probably do is, as soon as we launch, we can start moving towards them. Anyway, we're going to head in this direction. We could even head more like this, because they're going to be heading northwest. So we'll head in that direction there. Actually, they're heading straight towards us now, apparently. They might have just been heading northwest to launch aircraft, actually. That's a good thing to note. Let's see how far we can squeeze this. Alright, should be good to go. Take off. Off they go. Right, let's go ahead and change over to the Yorktown. Select that one. Pick the target. We'll try and shimmy it a bit closer. We are kind of pushing the range here of our aircraft quite substantially, but it's okay. We will make sure... It might actually be because of the torpedo bombers, because the torpedo bombers really don't have the same range. So maybe we can take the torpedo bombers out. It's kind of a bit late to do that, but yeah, you got to consider the range of each of the aircraft. This will be fine. The torpedo bombers will just kind of fly here and then fly back if they have to. All right, so that's fine. We will bring out this window on the right and we'll click take off. And now what will happen if we go to the 3D, because we were ready to take off already with the spotting, they're all going to start up their engines and they're going to get going. It's going to be nice and loud as they all start up. Really cool watching all the propellers come on. These boys have been sat ready for like an hour in their cockpits. I hope none of them needed a pee. There goes the first. We're gonna let our little tiny escort go first. It's like 2 Wildcats for all of these bombers. And then we've got this carrier back here, also taking off. Now, because we have the deferred setting, they are going to start hovering above the fleet and basically set up before they go. Really, really cool to watch them all take off slowly but surely. They do take off pretty quickly, one after the other. Really, really cool watching the air ops and all of the aircraft in the sky. Absolutely awesome. Okay, so now we just got to hope for the best, basically, because what I'm doing is I'm sending both my strike packages straight into the Lion's Den, and yeah, I'm going to change my waypoint towards the enemy so that we are closer to pick up our aircraft after we have launched them all. Because what will happen is, since we are letting aircraft take off, we will be automatically moving into the wind. So I can preemptively set the waypoint towards the enemy carrier group, and we could also check the gun range actually. Got main battery range. Probably won't get into main battery range in this sort of engagement, but you never know. Alright, yeah, just gotta wait now, again, until all of these aircraft have taken off, so you'll start to see these bombers ready to go. Just speed it up as they all take off. I mean, I could sit here for days and watch these, but I would like to show you guys a successful attack on an enemy carrier, which hopefully we'll be able to pull off. As my aircraft flies off into the distance, and he's going to hover around until his other aircraft join him. It's really, really awesome to like slowly watch them all form up. Look at this. There we go. Oh, we got general quarters sounded. What's going on? Let's have a look at our map. So enemy aircraft has been engaged by my cap. So if we go to the cap here, we can watch the first of the engagements occurring. It's probably just going to be an enemy bomber or torpedo bomber used for scouting. There's the enemy aircraft that they might have already shot it down. Anyway, general quarters. Oh, here we go. We're diving down. There it is. The general quarters get sounded whenever there's like an enemy aircraft nearby. The crews get prepared, just in case there's like a big attack at any point. Well, they're coming down fast. I'm even very fast indeed. I'm going to try and whip round and engage. Actually, that's a friendly wildcat. What am I even looking at? I thought that was the enemy aircraft, but apparently not. I thought they were diving on it, but it looks like they were just grouping up. It looks like it may have just been destroyed. Okay, let's head back to our bombers over here, and you'll see that the groups are really starting to take shape. Very, very cool. Look how many there are. And they will all strike at roughly the same time, as in the two strike groups together. Since we basically set them to go within sort of a minute apart, they'll hit pretty close together. That's one thing that's really cool about carrier warfare in this game, is that it's imperfect, and it was in real life. So I really kind of like that aspect of it. This guy's like the leader of the squadron. Very, very cool. Oh, trying not to crash into your buddies. More are joining. Now we can head over to the other one as they get ready to go. So this is what a deferred launch does, is it waits until they're all formed up and then they're good to go. So we get these really cool looking strike packages with these really cool dive bombers. Our air defences have been manned. Looks like that aircraft got shot down, so that's good. So tally-ho, Bogey is a single Japanese carrier bomber attacking now. Yeah, it was just a scout. But we're already on our way. But it looks like they've now turned into the wind because they likely found our position. So yeah, they're going to now be engaging us as well. So we're going to have a sort of situation where both sides have their strike package up in the air and engaging each other, and that can be like real scary. Anyway, as soon as the last of the aircraft has taken off, they should start heading away. There's only a couple more on the Yorktown. There's like actually none left on the Lexington. The Lexington's done. The reason there's 3 Wildcats on the deck is because of the cap, probably. Just like ready to take off. So yeah, strike package from George, USS Lexington is on the way. So that will be, I guess this one. Yeah, they're going to be heading out now. Climbing to altitude. They're only above. There might be some above. It's just like 2 groups of them. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so you can see them all there. So we've got this group of dive bombers. There is another sort of squadron up there. Another one further to the right. So many aircraft. Yeah, so both of the strike packages are underway. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put our fighters on the deck. So we're going to spot with the Yorktown and the Lexington. And we'll be ready to scramble because it looks like, yeah, the enemy spotted us. So we want to be ready to deal with that. Also, what I'm going to do, since we know that they are here, is we're going to adjust the cap. So let's move over to our defensive air ops. We'll click the cap area. We can click edit. We'll move it more like so. Let's do it like that. Click accept, and it's changed. And the aircraft will continue in that side of things instead, which will hopefully give us more of a chance to spot their strike group in advance. Although our strike group might see their strike group as they fly past each other. It's always interesting when you think about that, because like in reality they would just do that. They would just, like, the dive bombers would not attack other dive bombers, really. They would just fly past each other to try and complete their mission, and then hope that the fighters do the job and hope that they have a carrier to come back to, because it's pretty wild when you think about it. Let's see. I'm gonna maybe move this a little bit further away even. It's already pretty far away. Let me just do it more like this, so a little bit further forwards in front of the fleet. Cool, that'll do. And yeah, now we just wait. So the dive bombers will be climbing up to altitude. Looking very, very cool indeed. So many of them. You can also like minimize a lot of these windows. Like there's these arrows that you can click to hide all the windows, so you don't have to hide the HUD as a whole. You can still make it look pretty whilst having your UI around you. This timeline on the bottom is pretty important. Kind of, you can see when the mission recovery would be. So estimated return at 9:08. So they're going to be on mission for like an hour or so. You can set it to obviously different scales. I like to generally have it 24 hours, unless there's specific things I need to check. Especially when you get like more complex. Like this isn't the most complex, and you're probably thinking that's crazy. It is a bit crazy, but alas. Yeah, when you have like 3 or 4 carriers and you're also having to manage your position and all the extra stuff around that, it does certainly hurt the brain, I will say. But it's really good fun to learn, and I would say it's worth it. It may look a little bit complicated, but you always have this sort of downtime where you can enjoy the pretty view And here we have our dive bombers climbing to altitude. We got our fleet behind us. It's just gorgeous. It really is. And this is the great part about this game, is it has the sort of frantic parts, but it also has the sit back, relax and watch kind of parts. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it. So we're on our way, and we probably want to speed things up. We can maybe adjust the waypoint. Looks like they're gonna maybe be moving a bit far away. What happened to my search aircraft? Actually, we should probably check that. One of them probably got shot down, the one that found them. Let's have a look. Where's my search? There they are. So you can see these little circles. That's where they should be, in theory. So it's going to be one of these two that saw it. This one probably. So are we 7 or 8 here? Go to 3D. Yep, he's in the water. He's in the drink. I'll just have a look and see if we can see from here, but yeah, this guy got killed. If I go to different perspectives, we can see that he is underwater. Yep. He got shot down. So these are going to be continuing their search pattern. That was kind of lucky, actually, that I caught it on the edge there. This one's going to come around this way, and then both of these have a chance of watching them on the way back. So that's pretty handy. But yeah, our carriers are going to steam towards the enemy because we want to basically reduce the range as much as possible that our aircraft have to travel because they're going to be kind of low on fuel otherwise. Which will be very awkward if they start having to ditch because they run out of fuel. We're going to speed things up as my strike group moves out of radar range, and hopefully at some point we can watch an attack. We might end up getting attacked first. Yeah, okay, so there is 10 plus aircraft coming towards us here, and it probably would be a good idea to just scramble. So let's go ahead and move over to the flight operations. We go to fighter direction and we scramble all fighters as we will want to intercept those. And thankfully I put them on deck, so we should be on deck. Hopefully we'll be able to take off as soon as we push ourselves into the wind, of course. Let me just check the other, because one of them didn't have very many. That's the Yorktown. Yeah, okay, so all of these fighters are what we have to defend our fleet. We don't have many at all. I barely sent any escort, but we still don't have any fighters with us, really. So we're just turning into the wind, and as soon as they can, as soon as the green light goes, so it starts flashing, they can take off, basically. That's what this little button on the bottom left is, or little light, I should say. And the action will begin. We're going to be flying right past one another. They won't engage each other. Maybe the escort might have a little pick at one of the, or two of those, but that is a decent amount of aircraft coming towards us. Our cap is moving to engage. We have another aircraft there, but that's probably just another scout.
Romeo, many bogies. Vector 080, 60 miles. Angels high. Romeo, many bogies. Vector 080.
Okay, off they go. Now these four are part of my cap, so I mean we could just delete my cap now and scramble the rest of them. Probably a good idea, to be honest, so that I have those four up in the air. Let's go and edit, delete, and then we just go to fighter direction, scramble all fighters, and that should launch the rest, hopefully. Okay, so yeah, this cap is Moving into engage, let's have a look at these guys. We'll start to see probably like a big wing of Japanese dive bombers or torpedo bombers. We should have a look at this information. This light on the top right flashes when you have a new information. To see if you can spot them in the distance here beyond all of these clouds. A ways out. We should be coming out up on them shortly though. One of the fighters is probably going to go and try and hunt that down. The rest of the scramble is on the way. And the waypoints are now set up because the carrier is getting ready to do evasive maneuvers. I said Angel's high, which means that they should be probably roughly the same level as us. Coming up on them shortly. Ah, there they are. Okay. That's a decent flight of aircraft. Do we take control? Oh, that's a bunch of torpedo bombers, dive bombers, all sorts of stuff. We'll try and get control of one after they've lined up. Oh, they've started to engage the fighter escort. Oh, those zeros are going to be really, really rough to deal with. Let's take control here of this one. See if we can shoot some down. Coming up underneath them is actually a pretty nice idea because the tail gunner won't be able to shoot us. We'll go for the ones closer, let's just slow it down. Oh, we've got a zero behind us. Oh no! Alright, we're gonna relinquish control there because dogfighting is not... I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that. We'll let the AI deal with that. That Fenton there was being shot up by a zero. My bad, dude. My bad. I put you in that position. He might still be able to shoot one or two. Oh. He's diving away. Scary view. All of these are evading at the moment, so our cap is in trouble. A lot of them have boys on the rear. Our scramble is racing to catch up. It looks like our boys have moved past. Yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. Unfortunately, yeah, like Fenton, and they're still evading. They're actually doing a pretty good job of evading those zeros for now. Because the zeros are really maneuverable. Oh, never mind. Sorry. I spoke too soon. He's in the drink. Oof. My bad. Oh, did he just shoot one down? It looks like he did. There is a Jade Valley up here. He's still going. Oh, I think he shot one down, maybe. But yeah, we really need to start dealing some damage to those aircraft, because otherwise we're going to take a lot of damage. This is like the anticipation. It's like whether or not your aircraft are actually going to be able to take down the enemy aircraft in time before they hit you hard. Because there is another 20 plus aircraft coming in behind. That is scary. So this is probably a strike package from one aircraft carrier, and this is from the second. They are slightly split apart, which is good for us because it's going to allow our fighters to get the job done. Man, there isn't many fighters left. What's Ral doing? Searching for target. Okay. Hey, he might be chasing the scout, but the others will be coming up very close now to those bombers. And since the other Zeros are currently engaging our cat, yeah, they've shot them all down. That's sad. Fenton, Brassfield, and Bassett have all hit the drink. That is a very bad. Oh, and Flatley's going to join them. Man, my Wildcats just are no match for the Zero, which I think was historically accurate at this point in the war. Especially with how good the Japanese pilots were. They had a lot of experience. Whereas these poor chaps didn't so much. Well, there it is. You can see like the extra ones on the sides here. These are the Zeros. And then you got the main fleet of bombers in the middle. Yeah, that's kind of rough. Take a little shot there as we go through. Oh, look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Alright, we're going to be swinging around. Oh, something got shot down. Hopefully not one of ours. I might take a draw with this chap. We can go hunt them. Oh, look at all the friendlies. Oh, you'll have to see it. Closing in. Moving at 550 knots. On the bottom left you can see the throttle, speed, altitude, ammo. Currently zooming in. We're going to get low and come in underneath them again. Try and slow it down. Oh, that thing's taking a lot of punishment. We're sitting just below them right now, which is nice. That rear gunner can't shoot us here. Sitting in his blind spot. There goes one. There goes two. Nice. Keep trying to help. Nice. Going. Making this look easy, but it's very, very finicky. I'm kind of just letting the plane go where it wants. Barely any ammo left. Ah, he's got no ammo. He should go back to base. Let's release control of that. But hopefully he just heads back because he used up all his ammo. But he shot down a bunch, so that's good. But yeah, USS Yorktown has been targeted by a torpedo aircraft attack. Now, since we're heading like straight towards them, it's actually not a bad idea because we're going to make our sort of. We're going to be smaller, basically, a smaller target to hit because we're not side on. So that's not too bad. Our aircraft are still moving through. I don't know what happened to my search. Let's have a look. I don't know what happened to the torpedo bombers down here. Oh, they're on the way back at the moment. Okay, so we might get information at just the right time, which would be nice. Anyway, meanwhile, we can continue to watch the aircraft. Nice, good kill. Good kill. Take him apart, boys. Is he going to swing back and try and go for another one? Oh, cheeky. Oh, rear gunner's having a go. A little bit of an oil leak there. Oh, that's a friendly behind, that's fine. And these guys have got a lot of work to do. Yeah, so he's heading back to base because he's run out of ammo. Not my fault, I swear. I thought that was like an enemy for a second, but no, he's just forming up. We've taken down a lot of them, there's not too many left. Who's engaging over there? Someone is. It's Bane. Bane's doing it. He's taking down another one. Beautiful. Oh, they're taking pretty big losses on this. And the more we kill, the better. But it does only take like one bomb or one torpedo to really like screw up your day. So if we can take down every single one, that would be perfect. But we do have another big group of aircraft coming in behind those, so yeah, we've got work to do here. This group is what I'm talking about, and they're getting pretty close to the carrier task force. The carrier task force will start throwing up flak at some point, and we can of course watch that as soon as they do. We're currently moving into the wind for air ops, which is not really good timing because we're going to be side on to those torpedoes. Let's head back and keep watching these boys have some fun. Oh, there's the enemy force down there. Maybe I can take control of Clark. How much ammo we got? 1,600. Nice. Goodbye, wing. Alright, we'll let him come back around for us. I'm not sure if there's a shortcut for releasing control. There probably is. I didn't find it. Oh, good hit. Another one down. This is great. Yeah, the scramble's working well. We will want to keep an eye on the fuel. If we go to the fighter direction, we can see how much fuel these have. So they actually have quite a lot. So yeah, we're good. They've still got 78% and 82% fuel, which is important. I guess the other thing is ammo, though. Making sure they have enough ammo is important as well. Let's head to the strategic map. How are our boys doing on our attack? So they should still be kind of chilling, looking for a target. It looks so cool. It really, really does. My fighter's working overtime in the meantime. Looks like he's coming in to land. And we've managed to take down a couple more there. Oh, beautiful. Looks like they teamed up on those. Shot them down. Oh, you'll have to see it. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. I don't think that first group's getting anywhere near, which is perfect. There's like maybe one or two left. But hopefully they'll clean them up. And then they can deal with the second group in time. And let's speed things up a little bit as they continue to dogfight. Ooh, the music's kicking in. That means that we're actually under attack. On the, we'll probably start watching the flak go up from the fleet. Really depends if this aircraft is in fact a dive bomber or something. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. How is our air doing? He's about to launch. Wait, we have one on deck? Oh no, he's landing. This is about to land, not about to launch. Oh, it looks like we're like chasing the last one. Oh, it's a 0. Okay, that's not so bad. If it's just a 0, it doesn't really matter. Looks like it just got shut down, maybe? Okay, they're all in formation now, which looks like... Oh, there's that one more plane up there. That's a friendly. A plane coming in behind there. A Clark? Who is that? Someone. Could be 09 actually. Oh, they're actually beansing it straight towards the next group. Right, these are going to be blasting away. There we go, look at that. Creating the flak screen. Hopefully that's not a torpedo bomber. Be kind of sketchy. That's very close. Yep, it was a torpedo. Evasive action. Oh, check out the swing on that. Oh boy. Oh, you can hear it saying, brace for torpedo at impact. Oh, he got shot down. One frickin' torpedo, man. Is that gonna be the end of me? I let one get through. That would be my luck, to be honest. That would be my luck. I should be able to evade one torpedo, right? It's like famous last words. Right, how are we doing? We don't know where they are, so our boys are kind of chilling. Where's my search, boys? Let me check the search. They should be bumping into them again. Well, we're managing to take down their strike package pretty well, I think. That aircraft's been taken out, I'm pretty sure. Cormac is going in. Or maybe cloud covers become a problem. Yep, there they are. It's another group. On the Zeros are coming out to engage. 3 on 3. The Wildcats do not stand a chance. We need our other ones to come in ASAP. It's so cool though, watching the dogfight back there. The wingmen are coming up to help, but it really depends who gets the jump on who. It's cool to watch these. So these are mostly dive bombers. I think they're almost all dive bombers. Yep. Okay, come on. Come on. We need to spot them before our aircraft head back. Can't believe we lost visual. What I will do if I have to is we'll land and we'll send them off again. But that is a bit of a pain. I'll have to speed that up for you guys. Well, these guys have already done a lot of damage, right? There's not that many of them left. Oh, there it is. So we have identified them. Are they going to turn around? Or are they headed back? They are still in the radius. I just don't know if they're going to have fuel, right? They're out of fuel in like 40 minutes, so yeah, that's kind of risky. Let's keep watching the aircraft in the meantime. And these are all in formation. Did they already kill all of those aircraft? I'm just being like leading each other home. There's no way. I mean, that guy's in the drink. He's in the drink. He's in the drink. He's in the drink. Maybe we just lost eyes on them? Or we're chasing them? Maybe we're just chasing them. So yeah, that might be what's happening right now. all a bit far back. But who's engaging right now? Ah, it's these three, okay. He's trying his best. Do we still have scramble? Yeah, this is gonna get pretty ugly. Yeah, this is the only problem with doing your waypoint short of the enemy carrier group, because sometimes you just won't be in range, and if you don't know where they are, they won't commit. Whereas, like, if we already knew where they were, these aircraft would have just kept going and dropped their bombs and then made it back with minimal fuel. But in this case, it's kind of too late. They can't really turn around again at this point. How's he coming down on those? Should we take control? Let's do it. We've only got a limited amount of time. Pick it up a bit on the speed. Nice, good hit. This guy's gonna be an ace in a day. Not much ammo left though. Let's make it count. We'll get the last shot in. Increase that throttle. Maybe we can take one more with us. I think when the reticle turns red, it's a hit. It's out of ammo. Well, back you go. All of these are, what are you even doing? Oh, we can see the combat fleet there. Now we just gotta hope that the carrier doesn't get blasted in the meantime. Okay, well, it's about to go down. The torpedo run from astern is fine because... Oh, did that just take off? Okay. Where is that fighter? They're all in the drink. Big old flak wall over there. The big ones that's scary is going to be all the bombers coming in. I think he dropped that torpedo way too early. Good for us though. Oh, the Wildcat coming in there. Risky for the Wildcat with all that flak around. Whoop. Careful. Alright, so you got a little ship here firing away. Do the 50 cals firing. It does fire the main guns as well to help with the flak. I should probably try and hit that one over there. And these are all our ships. Said I'd show them earlier. Cool. Blasting away. Oh, the Lexington just got hit by a lot of bombs. That's not good. That's not good. Looks like it... Okay, actually it wasn't a direct hit by those things. But it still caused a hole. Oh, there's a big old hole in the side. Okay, fair enough. The Lexington is pretty damaged. Could have been worse. The flight deck's still good to go. That's good. We're taking a little bit of flooding. The Yorktown doing? The Yorktown's fine. Okay, I'm hoping that that was the only strike that managed to get through. I have no idea what my scramble planes are doing. They're like flying off over here somewhere. Bit unfortunate. Yeah, a lot of those aircraft are gonna make it out. Okay, well, since we missed the carrier group, we're going to have to send out another flight, but we've shot down a lot of their aircraft, so I am hopeful that we would manage to do it the second time round. How are my other ships doing? They all look okay. Actually, the New Orleans got hit. And damage to its propulsion. The Astoria was hit as well. Ooh, the Minneapolis. Big damage to propulsion. Still traveling at 25 knots though. Okay, what we'll do is, since the scramble, I don't know, yes, these guys are still engaging. It's like one dude still going for it. Raoul, what a boss. What a boss. Oh, he's currently being engaged by a couple of zeros though. I'm sorry, dude. You are probably very dead. What I am going to do is we will recover our aircraft. So let's go ahead and recover Scramble. our aircraft heading back. So what I think I'm going to do, guys, since we're not going to be able to catch up with them, and we're going to have to wait for our strike package to be ready again, I'm going to have to fast forward things, and hopefully you'll join me when I'm hitting the carrier group. As you can see, we moved on to the next day. I managed to evade the rest of the enemy air attacks, and we've used the cover of night to regroup our forces, and we prepared another attack for the morning. So we're going to be sending out search planes once again as soon as it hits dawn, and then we will hopefully find the enemy carrier, and this time the strike packages will hit the mark. You can hope. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. We have a new attack on the way. It's currently being harassed by a Zero. I believe we did lose one of our poor dive bombers, but we are getting very close to the enemy carrier fleet. If I head to the strategic map, you will see that we are chasing them. The enemy carrier fleet is up here. We are down here, so we're using the wind to our advantage. Over the night, what I did is I moved my ship as far south as I could because the wind was coming from the north, so that we could get into a better position to be able to launch all of our fighters without putting ourselves in a bad position, which is what happened previously. So yeah, really hoping that my aircraft can find and kill this carrier. Kind of counting on it, to be honest. We do have a second strike package that we can send from the Lexington. This is only the aircraft from the Yorktown, I believe, as we are currently waiting for my dive bombers to land. I made an order that flew out by accident, so I ended up completely messing up my spotting. But I guess that's just how it goes sometimes. My escort, I think, is trying to do its best to save our aircraft. Let's go ahead and continue to look at those. It looks like that one's in the drink. The Zero's doing a number on us. I wonder if I can take control of the gun. It'd be cool if you could like sit on the gun on the backside and just shoot down the Zeros. But as you can see, we do have a pretty large amount of aircraft here that are slowly moving towards the enemy ships. You can see them down there on the bottom left, so we will get a successful attack, hopefully. We've got to pray that the bombs land on target. We can dissuade these carriers from continuing their operation, as that is our objective. As this continues, I do need to keep an eye on the Lexington. Lexington is still damaged from the previous attack that hit us. As you can see there, he's still landing, still having aircraft land on deck. So not much we can do with him at the moment. I've got to wait till all of those land again, and then we can take them off. So you can see here the aircraft waiting to land. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. Hopefully the strike package that's out and about can get the job done. They're currently like lining up on their target, I believe. They're being harassed by the Zeros. Gotta hope that the gun's on the back and get the job done. There's the enemy fleet ahead of us. Nice that we're in the position we are, because we're able to just maintain air operations and not have to worry about the wind at all. We don't have to change our course. If this wasn't successful, we will be ready with another one because of the Lexington being ready to go. Who's up in front? Section 4 maybe? Nope. So many bombers, look how many there are. Just as well, these metal airframes are pretty resilient. The enemy ship starting to take evasive action on the bottom there. Speed things up a bit. Oh, here we go. There's the two carriers ahead of us. What happened to the rest of our bombers? Looks like they're all overhead, ready to go. Down they go. See if I can find one that's bombing. We'll just pause it a moment so we can watch that in action. That one's in the drink. So many of them. Ah, here we go. Perfect. That's the one we want. Here we go. See if we can get those bombs on target. One, I believe. That one on the left's probably going to miss completely. But this one that we're watching... Ooh, it's going to be close. Oh... That is a shame. More misses. More coming in. My bombers let me down. We still got more coming in. More and more and more. Oh, that was close. Some landing on the one on the left there as well. Come on, we need some nice juicy hits. We're getting extremely unlucky. Oh, big hit on the left there. Oh, nice hit. Good stuff, good stuff. These bombs that are landing next to them are still going to do a decent chunk of damage. But, unfortunately, not really enough. I think that's the last of the bombs. Oh, there's a couple more dropped next to that carrier. Oh, one more hit. Very nice, very nice. We put it on fire. More hits. Oh, there's another big one. Lovely. Alright, well. One of those carriers is very much on fire. Unfortunately, he lost the wing. The cap is getting pretty sketchy right now. Ah, poor chap. Oh, nice way to go. Well, that was certainly an attack. Hopefully, my boys can get out of there. We ditched quite a few of them. Turns out we did enough damage to force them to disengage. Let's head for debriefing. So, in the end, a strategic victory. Although it did not come without losses, in such circumstances no one can truly claim victory based on the body count alone. Still, your rather conservative tactics have allowed us to maintain the strategic initiative and, for the first time since Pearl Harbor, perhaps a semblance of control over the tactical battle. The losses suffered in the Coral Sea will be felt, but they have provided a much-needed respite for our Australian allies, one that General MacArthur will gladly seize to reinforce the Allied presence in New Guinea. History books will surely call it a victory, but for now we have more pressing matters. What is done is done. Let us move on to the next round of this fight, this time off to the shores of Midway Atoll. We're steaming north, starting tomorrow, Admiral. So a strategic victory, but a tactical draw. So in terms of aircraft, a lot of our fighters got shot down. We lost 30 of our dive bombers. We destroyed a lot of their aircraft as well. We damaged both of their carriers. One of our carriers didn't take any damage, so that was really nice. But yeah, we forced the enemy to retire, so that was the job, and we did it. Obviously not the prettiest way to do it. I'm sure you guys can do it better, but it is a great game, and it's definitely worth checking out. But that's all for now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.